good, y'all? I'm Jerry, about to check out top 10 most shocking WrestleMania kickouts. This video is by Wrestling Flashback. One shocking kickout in particular, I remember from WrestleMania 27, I believe, when Undertaker and Triple H faced off against each other, and the kickout came when Triple H hit the Undertaker with his own Tombstone Piledriver, and Undertaker kicked out and kept the streak alive, and the match continued, and we all ultimately knew who won the match later on down the line. So about to hop into the video, man, see what other wrestling top 10 most shocking WrestleMania kickouts that happened. Let's go. Is this on?
WrestleMania is the grandest stage of them all, and that means it plays host to the biggest matches in all of wrestling. And with the stakes so high and the occasion so massive,
WrestleMania 18 was pretty good too. The Rock and Hogan.
And this means finding the intestinal.
That was a good triple threat match.
Getting back up.
It's rare to see somebody kick out of a tombstone.
With a spectacular finishing move, somehow they managed to kick out.
Spear.
And with the crowd and their opponent completely in shock, just like that, you've got a WrestleMania moment.
Pedigree.
So let's take a look at some of these incredible moments as we run down 10 of the craziest kickouts in WrestleMania history. Number 10, Warrior kicks out of 5 elbow drops. We start in the year 1991 for our first entry, as the Macho King Randy Savage took on the Ultimate Warrior at WrestleMania 7 in a match where the loser must retire. The Warrior was up against it due to constant outside interference from Sensational Sherry. And despite the Warrior's best efforts, Savage looked to have him beat as the Macho King went to the top rope to hit his patented elbow drop. But Savage believed it would take more than one to keep Warrior down, but then 2 elbow drops turned to 3, then 4, but the Macho King still wasn't done.
Like that. Everybody else do theirs like
elbow
that.
drop and going for the cover, but somehow the Warrior kicked out. This was in an era when kicking out of finishing moves was very rare, so it was a shock for everyone to see the Warrior being able to get the shoulder up after receiving 5 finishes in a row.
Was that planned?
Savage would even be able to kick out of the running splash later on, but wasn't able to ultimately defeat the Warrior. Number 9, Sid kicks out of the leg drop. Just a year after Warrior defeated Savage, Hulk Hogan wrestles Sid in the main event of WrestleMania 8. It looked like business as usual for Hogan after hitting his iconic leg drop. Everyone was expecting that to be that, but Sid was able to kick out, which stunned the fans. Someone kicking out of Hogan's leg drop was unheard of at the time. In fact, Sid would be the first wrestler to ever do so in the WWF.
Hulk's still looking to drop the leg. He did. It's all over.
But Sid wasn't actually scripted to kick out of the leg drop, as Papa Shango was meant to interfere and break up the
He went into business for himself.
But Papa Shango missed his cue, meaning he was late coming down to the ring, leaving Sid no choice but to get his shoulder up. Number 8, Roman Reigns kicks out of 5 F5s. Now before this clash at WrestleMania 34, Roman had garnered somewhat of a reputation for kicking out of finishers at the grandest stage of them all.
Pedigree.
He had even kicked out.
Undertaker hate that match to this day.
WrestleMania 31.
Third F5.
And going into WrestleMania 34, every indication seemed that Brock Lesnar was headed back to the UFC. And it also looked clear based on how the storyline played out on television that the plan was for Roman Reigns to kick out of the F5 and win the Universal Championship. So it was no surprise then when he kicked out the first F5.
An F5! Kicked out by Reigns!
But then he kicked out of a second.
With more impact! And Roman Reigns again stays alive!
Then got his shoulder up after a third.
And a third F5! Championship Reigns!
Absurdly enough, he kicked out of a fourth, this one through a table.
Not an F5 out of the table and through the table!
It seemed destined that he would win when he miraculously kicked out of a 5th F5.
No! 5-8 at WrestleMania! Reigns again!
Said that this was overkill, but surprisingly enough, Reigns eventually did succumb to a 6th F5 and lost the match. Had the crowd actually been more into this match, this entry may have made it higher on our list. Number 7, Stone Cold kicks out of the Rock Bottom. 2 years after their clash at WrestleMania 17, The Rock and Austin locked up one more time
pretty good match.
at WrestleMania 19. And while Mania 17 said farewell to the Attitude Era, this match was somewhat of a last hurrah for the 2 biggest stars of the Attitude Era. Stone Cold was 2-0 over The Rock at WrestleMania, meaning it was do or die for the People's Champion. We would see a series of finishing moves being delivered.
Rock bottom.
But the true final blow appeared to come after a series of counters, ending with the Great One hitting a second rock bottom to Austin. 1, 2, and Stone Cold kicked out, as the fans' faces mirrored the Rock's.
Damn.
But Austin was on his last legs, barely
Hey,
getting
J.R. King calling it
with a third and deciding rock bottom. WrestleMania 19 proved to be Austin's final round, as he ended his in-ring career, while The Rock would wrestle one more match before going to Hollywood full-time. Number 6, Rock kicks out of the AA. Now the AA had been kicked out of a fair few times before at the grandest stage of them all.
That WrestleMania 23 match was classic between Cena and Shawn. That match right there put Miz on the map.
But this time was different. Given
this match right here was good. I like this match better than the 28 match.
Just like Hogan passed the torch to The Rock, many speculated that The Rock would do the same to John Cena at WrestleMania 28, in what was perhaps the biggest WrestleMania match since Rock Hogan. And in The Rock's hometown of Miami, the stage was set for this once-in-a-lifetime encounter. After hitting 2 attitude adjustments in the match, Cena hooked a leg, but The Rock managed to kick out, as the pro-Rock crowd reacted in approval, while at the same time thinking how close Cena was to victory, people's elbow. But The Rock would spring up before Cena could hit the move, as we saw rock bottom instead, and that would earn the win. Number 5, HBK kicks out of a top rope angle slam. Shawn Michaels
they had a classic at WrestleMania 21.
Had all the makings of a 5-star classic, and the match more than lived up to the hype, while both men put in stellar performances. It was anyone's guess who would come out on top, but we all thought it was over when Kurt Angle ran up the rope to hit a top rope angle slam to Shawn, but he couldn't get the job done. The speed at which Angle scaled to the top was amazing, but add to that an elevated version of his already impressive finishing maneuver, and you have a spot that surely could have been the finish.
That would have been hard though.
Angle was able to pick up the victory, however, using a grapevine version of the ankle lock. Number 4, Austin struggles to put The Rock down. WrestleMania 17 closed the curtain.
That was a damn classic match right there.
Fitting main event than Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock. The two biggest stars of their era gave us a match we'll never forget, as we were left guessing as to what the finish would be. Rock had previously kicked out the Stunner at WrestleMania 15. But this match felt a lot more significant. Rock first kicked out of the rock bottom by Austin, which was expected. He then kicked out of a chair shot to the head from Vince McMahon, where the crowd thought it could be over in a typical screwjob fashion. But no, The Rock continued to stay alive.
Rock had heart that night.
Then a Stone Cold Stunner with The Rock's signature cell job looked to have sealed the deal for the Texas Rattlesnake, but miraculously, it only garnered 2. Austin then swung for the fences with a steel chair, and the crowd for sure thought that that was over, but it still couldn't get the job done, with the crowd at fever pitch.
Damn! Kicked out again.
But that kick out may have been all The Rock had left, as after being subjected to a steel chair beatdown, that was all she wrote, as Austin would do the unthinkable and side with his greatest rival, Vince McMahon, to put a bow on the
Stone Cold had an underrated
Rock kicks out
heel turn.
The Rock vs Hulk Hogan was the dream match of
this match was good,
as two of the biggest icons in wrestling faced off in the showpiece match at WrestleMania 18. With the crowd firmly in Hogan's favor, the Hulkster looked all set to claim another WrestleMania
I like how The Rock
victory
sold the
with
leg
his
drop too.
signature leg drop, but the People's Champion dug down deep to kick out, which sent the Toronto Sky Dome into a simultaneous roar, as they couldn't believe what they were seeing. And it was the crowd's electricity that eventually lit a fire under The Rock, which led to the Great One securing the win over Hollywood Hogan, with the two wrestlers showing the respect they have for one another in the post-match
NWO
by
turned on Hogan that night.
Number 2, HBK kicks out of the Tombstone. The Undertaker defending his WrestleMania undefeated streak was a once-a-year tradition, as many wrestlers would try and fail to defeat the dead man at the Showcase of the Immortals, but not for the want of trying, leading to some of the greatest WrestleMania matches and moments. It was always surprising when someone would kick out of his Tombstone piledriver.
I guess Kane will be number one.
For Taker to win.
Might, maybe.
Nobody's ever done that, but twice.
Kicked out of 3.
This will be all. Kane kicked out.
It's
Tombstone delivered. Wow. There's 1 and 2. A new champion gets kicked out.
And none were more shocking than when Taker battled Shawn Michaels.
He damn near broke his neck on that spot right there.
The Heartbreak Kid down with the Tombstone piledriver, but Michaels would kick out in 2, leading to one of the most memorable images in WrestleMania history, as Taker lay there absolutely dumbfounded that Shawn was able to get the shoulder up.
The count. And a kick out. Unbelievable this. I just had an out-of-body experience.
What did we just see?
Tombstone that was able to pin Michaels for the 3, as The Undertaker made it 17-0 at WrestleMania. Number 1, Taker kicks out of a super kick pedigree combo. By 2012, The Undertaker's WrestleMania streak felt unbreakable.
Because of the emotion that was high. Emotions were so high in this match.
Streak over the years.
Tombstone. Unbelievable. He kicked out.
Ooh. That was the first meeting that they had. WrestleMania 17. Ugh. That match right there was pretty good too. WrestleMania 18. Ugh. 2. WrestleMania 23 was pretty good. For the first time they fought against each other. WrestleMania 24. Ugh. Those, to me, those last 4, 2 against Shawn and 2 against Triple H was like his best WrestleMania matches to me.
But the end of an era match at WrestleMania 28 firmly stacked the deck against Taker.
In my opinion,
off with Triple H,
that was like his 4 best
with the
WrestleMania matches.
Longtime friend Shawn Michaels, especially.
And they was all consecutive.
Triple H had come so close to breaking the streak at WrestleMania the year prior.
This is too bad.
And Undertaker couldn't even walk out the arena that night. He had to get carried out.
What did we just see? What did we just see?
So now with his best friend as the referee, this was the game's best chance, as Taker was stepping in the ring with 2 people who wanted the streak to end, and end it so nearly did, as a sweet chin music and pedigree combination looked to have finally beaten the
And it's shocking he beat Triple H 3 times at WrestleMania.
Stayed alive, and not a soul in the arena could believe it.
Pedigree! Shawn can't believe it.
A tombstone and a begrudging 3 count later from Shawn Michaels, and The Undertaker had won for the 20th time without defeat at WrestleMania. And that brings us to the end of this video. As always, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe.
Alright y'all, great video man. Let me know down below in the comments of what y'all thought of my reaction to this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.